What up, y'all? Uh, got a clip, got a bunch of clips actually, and I got a topic that it just kind of dawned on me last night. Um, Looking at a bunch of videos, just scrolling on YouTube, and seeing these huge channels, man, and like realizing that the I think the secret sauce to a lot of these YouTube creators, content creators, is either downing black people in general or specifically downing black women. So I think, I want to explore this phenomenon, and it's really not a phenomenon. Black people are the key to success, but it just seemed like talking bad about it seems to be the key to success. And I don't know, they say, any publicity is good publicity. So I don't know, it's like, I kind of like look at it, from like inverted, like if you're talking bad about somebody, it's something good about them. Like if your whole get up is talking bad about certain person, it's something within you that's missing. I don't care how much success you may get from talking bad about somebody. It's something missing. It's something inadequate about you that you're not addressing. So the first clip I'm gonna show is Anton Daniels. I don't know if y'all know who he is. I thought he was like me. I ain't gonna lie. The dude we kind of favor. But man, when I hear this guy talk bad about our women especially, man, I done been married now. Some of that stuff that he be saying, I kind of get. But man, we got to you got to pray. A lot of stuff he put out there into the atmosphere, he need to simply be praying about. He don't need to be making no videos about. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff, Charleston White, I got Charleston White, I got Anton Daniels, I got Charlie Kirk, I got Kevin Samuels. Them the four men that I got that I'm gonna be highlighting videos on and breaking down like the phenomenon of hating on black people and black women specifically. The ones that hate on black women, their channels go stupid crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of other content out there too, like my man Urban Politicians. He defend a lot of our people. His channel doing good too. You got a lot of channels who defend us, who doing good too. See, but it seemed like the ones who talk bad about black people, their channels go crazier. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Because the narrative that black people, people actively look for bad content about black people. That's what's going on. The algorithm feeds the viewers what they want to see. And I don't know, I just couldn't, as a in tune melanated black man, I just couldn't see myself, my whole get up, my whole career or YouTube career based on downing my mama, basically, downing my sister, talking bad about, my cousin, black women in general. I just couldn't see that, But this guy, Anton Daniels, he got almost at 1 million. I remember I check on him periodically, just tap in with him because I've been on YouTube managing my son's YouTube for about 5 years now. So I'll be on YouTube a lot. And so his channel came across, like I said, I thought he was just like me. So I was watching him about, 2-3 years ago. I was watching him until I realized just because he's from Detroit, okay, I get it. So I stopped watching it, but this stuff still pop up on my timeline from here, from every now and then. So, and then when it do, I might periodically see where his channel at because he's consistent. That's the one thing I can say about him and all of these YouTube creators. I can take notes from them. They are consistent. So I'm like, okay. Like, he growing. But he has grown exponentially. And I think he found his niche. And his niche seemed to be talking bad about black women. Now, like I said, I personally could not see myself getting money, or having a successful YouTube career based on talking bad about my wife, the women in my culture. I just couldn't do it. He defends some of them sometime. And a lot of them say, man, I'm just keeping it real. No, what it is, man, they need to just simply pray, especially black men. Y'all simply need to just pray. Some things don't need to be voiced publicly. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? Some of this stuff is like barbershop talk. Some barbershop talk should never hit the public airwaves. Some things should not be put out into the atmosphere. Some things you need to pull people to the side and talk to one-on-one. So that's what I disagree with a lot of their content. Kevin Samuels, I get where he was coming from too. I disagree with a lot of his content because a lot of it just don't need to be put out in public. That's the difference between our people and white people. See, their reaction to a lot of stuff, they like to handle stuff in-house. That's the one thing I can say I agree with, right? But they have the nerve to talk about our stuff publicly when they're not even dealing with their own stuff publicly. That's the issue I got with white content creators. Dude, talk about your white on. I don't know if y'all heard me previous videos. I talked to Tommy G. He a YouTuber. He didn't went crazy. Basically the same type of shit. I could include him in on this too, because his content based on going to black cities and highlighting the ghettos, the bad shit. But I texted him when that Charlie Kirk shit went out, and I told him, go to Utah and highlight the white on white crime, because it's not just Utah. This shit been happening in white America. They've been shooting at each other. They've been doing that. He laughed me off. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to white America, and I'm going to highlight, just like all these white YouTubers come to black areas and want to highlight the crime, I'm going to white areas and highlighting the crime in white areas. Yeah, I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's a hard pill that they're going to have to swallow. But either way, is hating on black people the key to YouTube success? That's what I want to explore. So yeah, let's check out Anton Daniels.
Y'all hate black women so much. That's what it really boils down to. If y'all really want to be honest, y'all really hate black women, because as soon as a black woman say something, do something, wear something, go somewhere without saying hello to somebody, it's a problem. But let any other race of women do it. It's okay. Nobody bats an eye. It's praised, actually. Thousands of likes, millions of likes. I just want to know why. Why can't black women do? We can't do nothing without being called a hoe, being called broke, being called attention seeking, when we really just living our life. And do y'all not realize the main threat to a black woman is a black man, a man in general? That's the reason why black women don't want to say hi to you at the grocery store. That's why. Because we know as soon as we say hi, then y'all think it's okay to start a conversation when clearly it's not. And then y'all want to get aggressive and defensive when somebody just say, no, I'm good. That's why I want to say hi to you.
See that attitude right there that she got? You see that? It's your attitude. It's your whole disposition. It's your demeanor. Number one, guys all over the United States of America are feeling it. And even though I myself may not necessarily be experiencing any kind of problems in real life, when I speak to people, when I show respect, and when I say, hey, how you doing, or whatever, so on and so forth, and if I ask about an apple or something like that, I'm just throwing something out there in the grocery store. I'm not really sure that should be met with being abrasive. I know women.
I feel what he's saying. But like I said, this is some inter-community type shit. So the lady had a point. You know, she most likely experienced this before. She most likely experienced disrespectful men, going overboard, just trying to come on, man. She in there. She not trying to be hollered at. It's That happens a lot in our community. I know for a fact, right? But I'm kind of like him though. Like if I speak to everybody, and some people, they take offense to being spoken to. I don't care. I speak to everybody. So that's the thing. Like if a person like her was paying attention to a person like me, they would figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, he cool. I'll be at the school picking my kids up. I speak to everybody. Be mostly women up there that be up there in general. It'd be like, I say 40, 60 though. Be a lot of men up there too. So I think, initially years ago, I kind of noticed a little, standoffish from some women. But as they say oh, I speak to everybody, then they kind of opened up. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh yeah, he ain't trying to holler at me. No, I'm not trying to holler at you. I just acknowledging you. I think acknowledgement is the key to all of this bull crap we got within our whole society in general. A lot of people ignore people. In general, this is what I notice a phenomenon with white people. They try to act like you're not there. You be right in their face. And black people do it to other black people too. We don't acknowledge black people, it seems like. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to be ignored. So if anybody know me, they know I'm going to get a hello out of you. I don't try to force it, but guess what? If you don't say nothing after I say it, I'm going to speak to the next person. I'm going to get some type of good conversation going. Then you're going to feel ostracized. You're not going to make me feel ostracized. That's not going to happen, because before long, I will start to bring it out of you. Why you was trying to ignore me. I will get it. I try to get some type of understanding with people that I'm around. That's how all this random violence be happening, because people be around each other and, people be having crazy thoughts in their head about total strangers. So that's basically my take on that. I'm going to let Anton finish this.
That get approached every day, all day. They have no problems whatsoever, and they are black women. They are fit, very pretty, very beautiful, and they also carry themselves with a positive outlook and a positive mindset. So let me first start this conversation off by saying that it's not all of you. It's not, but it is a majority of you that have these conversations online about the problems that you are having, and it shows. And then you look at this woman, and obviously she works in some sort of doctor's office or hospital in the healthcare field, which I'm assuming that she either works with patients or work with people, and people don't want to deal with your bad attitude. And again, I don't even think that it's race specific. I think that it's culture specific. And so we got to start having these conversations more or less based off of how trash the culture is, and whether or not you're just an angry person, or if this is for all black women. Because when we speak, a lot of times we speak broadly, and that's okay, because stereotypes are earned, they're not given. But I'm not sure that it's all of you, but for a vast amount of you that is experiencing problems or trouble with the general population, there are women that has never had any problems whatsoever with men calling them out of their name. And don't get me wrong, I understand it happens. I've seen it happen on these apps where somebody was secretly recording and she got called out of her name. So we're not saying that all men are good, and we're not saying that all women are bad. But what we are saying is that it is difficult for me to come to your defense when I can see the angry black woman syndrome thing on you right here. It is.
See that? I'm gonna stop right there. That's what I'm talking about, man. This guy, it got to be something within him, though. I know he's not just doing this for views. It's something within him that make him, feel compelled to make these videos, just like it's something within me that made me compelled to make this video. So, but it's always an ulterior motive, before I do anything, I'm looking for a reaction. Before he did this video, he was looking for a reaction. He looked at analytics. Every YouTuber look at analytics. And once they find their niche, they zero in on it. Boom. Oh, I got the most reaction from this. I got the most reaction from this. Oh, let me make a video about this. This is the video that went crazy. I'm looking at his numbers, and I realized that. So this is what I'm saying. These YouTube creators, these YouTube content creators are literally, they figured it out. You know, I'm gonna go to Charleston White right now. I'm gonna go to Charleston White.
We black people are the weakest race of men on earth. We stand on business, are the weak.
Now that alone, like, I ain't even really got to show no more of that. You understand? Like, this man right here, he's very calculated. He'll let you know. He'll tell you the method to his madness if you listen to him. He knows that saying stuff like that is going to get a reaction. That's all this dude do. He claim he not even a person. He claim he a character. So, you know, characters play in movies and play roles. So, you know, he got a script, basically. His script is talking about black people. And he claims to get our attention, but nah, bro. You just doing that. You know, you just doing that for a rise, to get a rise. You know, that's part of your formula. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Kevin Samuels. Or let me go to this video that break down of Kevin Samuels. So this is a reaction video to a Kevin Samuels. And this guy's content is the same thing.
There was a shocking new report that is coming from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics that is reporting that 300,000 jobs held by black women have been lost. And that's more than just an economic data point that we can just skirt over and not have a conversation about. This is major. And if this trend continues, the long-term impact of families on children and even us as men could be significant. So let's dive deep and get active on this one.
To the economy now, where staggering numbers have been released surrounding black women in the labor force. A new report shows more than 300,000 black women have left the workforce in just the last several months. That's according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
So the trend, it's all the way coming from the top. It's coming from the president, from politicians. You know, they use this same tool as a way to get a rise out of the white racist people and the insecure and uninformed black people that tend to start to want to hate themselves. I got the Hodge twins too. They are two twin brothers, identical twin, black. They look like they mixed brothers. They got the little gray eyes, so I think they think that they white. But yeah, I'm gonna highlight them too. But yeah, you could just look at the title of this video, and it seemed like he's trying to like instill fear into black women, like to maybe keep them in their place or something. I don't know. Let's watch a little bit more of this video. I never seen it, but I just kind of could tell just from the tone of it if he highlighting Kevin Samuels.
Joining me now is gender economist Katika Roy to break this all down and why.
Now, the title here is slightly misleading. It says left the workforce, but the majority of them have gotten either fired or laid off. One of my boys was actually just telling me not too long ago that he noticed that his rate of hey big head texts coming in increase exponentially. Let's go.
They're leaving. Katika, thank you so much.
What did he say? His rate of what?
Increase. Not too long ago that he noticed that his rate of hey big head texts coming in increase exponentially. Let's go.
They're leaving. Katika, thank you so much for being with us. You recently wrote an article where you say that this isn't happening by accident. Why do you think it is happening?
This is happening because of cuts to public sector positions. So if you look at the federal labor force, black women make up just over 12% of the federal labor force. It's about double their representation in the labor force overall. And when you have targeted cuts up to 50%, in organizations such as the Department of Education and HHS, you're not just trimming the fat, you're actually cutting the economic backbone for black women.
Wow. And so.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, this is nothing new. to our people. We know we the last hired and the first fired. Big deal. We gonna be all right. You know, like our ancestors suffered way more than we did. Like, come on now. Our people gonna be all right. Trust me. Like, we're not, our women are going to even, they basically forcing them to boss up and not depend on nobody. Yeah, we birth people. If y'all think our people, the people that everybody come from, is worried about a motherfucking job, y'all done lost y'all motherfucking mind. Life come from us. Once you get life through your DNA, you done did what God did. So a job, that's some man-made shit. Y'all can't do what we was able to do. We was able to give y'all life. And y'all want to take these white people that come from us want to take a fucking job. Don't nobody give a fuck about no goddamn job. We ain't need no job in the fire. Our ancestors ain't never had no job. They ain't getting no money. The fuck we worried about getting fired for? We the last to get hired. First to get fired. Big fucking deal. Yeah, like they can't nobody instill no fear in us. Shoot, we God in the flesh. Please. Yeah, look at these. I done seen enough of this video. Now let's go to this one. About these Hodge twins.
Video because the lady basically referenced the fact that other YouTubers are making content about the Hodge twins. But before my video or Abba and Preacher's video, you had people who really understood what was going on.
They were definitely leaning on their blackness because they're half black, half white. They were leaning on their blackness, you know, all this and that and all this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. And everybody's cool because, you know, black folk, we accept, you know, people who are partially black. We accept everybody, right? Especially who are part black and part whatever the fuck else, until you give folks a reason to not do that.
Now, this is a very, very keen observation. He said when he was watching the Hodge twins when they were blowing up, he realized that the Hodge twins were leaning onto their black side. Now, you know, they are half black and half white. And so what you saw is the Hodge twins making comedy using the N-word a lot, going back and forth. But then he noticed a change.
What I've noticed that they do is that they put down what they used to like lean on to now give an uprise to like their political beliefs. That you see what I'm saying?
So the Hodge twins built their career basically leaning onto their black side. Now they criticize everything to do with the black side, but they built their brand on that.
Bro, that's what a lot of these YouTubers are doing, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. A lot of them will start off, like Kevin Samuels started off, you know, uplifting black men, seem like, or critiquing black men on their style and on their, you know what I'm saying, how they approach women. And then he shifted, you know, I'm sure a clip or something went crazy. And then he said, you know what, and he actually said that, you know what I'm saying? I got this call-in number too, man, if y'all want to talk. You know, I got a call-in number. If y'all want to talk, it's running across the screen. Got my call, I got my text, my call, text number. It's up. Share. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, a lot of these YouTubers, they start off, you know, they don't start off so radical. But what they end up doing is they end up getting them, they end up seeing how much reaction a lot of these hating on black people. Yeah, I get it, James. Drama sells. I get it. But you know what, bro? Every other type of brand sells too. If you passionate about it, I just don't think the majority of these content creators understand that you can actually speak life and get the same results. You don't have to speak, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to speak negative you can actually get better results speaking positive. But I don't think a lot of them is in them. I think this shit got to be in you to even want to speak positive, to even want to build people up. You know what I'm saying? Give them some insight and tell them, like, you are more than black. The stuff that I be on, you are more than black. You know what I'm saying? You are God. Like, you are goddess if you're a woman. You are God if you're a man. Black, everybody come from us. I just don't think the majority of these people even understand who they are to begin with. I think a lot of them, I don't care how good they might think they look. You know, I don't care how well they dress. I don't care how much money and success they may have had in whatever field that they was in, how much insight or intellect or education they got. That don't tell the world who you are. If you ask me who am I, I'm God. I'm a man made in God's image. That's it. Nothing more or less. That's it. I don't know nothing. I feel everything. I don't know nothing. So when I be talking, it's not even me talking because I don't know shit. But I feel everything. And I'm just being used as a vessel, man. That's what a lot of these people not doing. They're not being used as a vessel. They want to prove points. And they want to prove it with drama, just like you said, James. Yeah, bro. I'm glad you added to my commentary, bro. I really appreciate you, James. Man, you one of my go-to guys. Them conversations we have, I need to have you on here, man. Just like I was on yours, I need you on here because we talk, man. It'd be the most powerful. But yeah, let's finish this.
Their brand on black buffoonery, quote unquote, let them tell it. Now you criticize what made you successful. Damn. But this sister said it the best.
This O'Shea Duke, what's his name? O'Shea Duke Jones, or what's his name? Duke Jackson. Yeah, damn, he actually got Ice Cube, man. O'Shea Duke Jackson channel. I'm gonna add the links to all of these videos, and so y'all can check them out on your own.
We have two black men, avid pro-Trump supporters, who stereotype the black audience, go all the way down their page. They speak about white people with respect, even if they're reporting on a crime.
Sure do.
When they speak about black people, there's no respect, there's no nothing. It's miss this, sir this, ma'am this, when they speak about a white person who's committed a crime, or they're speaking about something that's, going on in a white community. But when it comes to black people or brown people, any person of color, it's criminal and, just all kind of stereotypical terms that paints people of color in a negative light.
Now, she talked about the Hodge twins timeline. I talked about that in my particular video. And obviously they're active on X, so it's really easy to see it there. But let's see if her point is true. This is not so long ago. Now imagine if a mob of white conservatives chased two black dudes off campus. Then on their YouTube, Chicago residents pissed after streetwalkers take over Chicago neighborhoods. And of course, this is a black neighborhood, so you can imply that. Here we have very specifically, black people always need to make everything about race. Then another day, another woman getting punched by a black dude. What? These guys want to make it seem like every day women are just getting punched by black dudes, in particular, white women. All right. How many white women every day get punched by black dudes? I'll wait. And the answer is not that many. But hey, we all got to make money. Of course, these are their biases. And I actually call.
And that's the thing, man. Like, is you making money or is the money making you, man? Because when you, okay, there we go. Yo. Oh, James, they call me. Let me call my brother back.
Hello.
What up, James? I got you on here, bro. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, man? So I got a question for you. I'm listening. I just really tuned in. a couple of minutes ago, so I'm not privy of what you've been talking about.
Okay.
I saw a little bit of it. So my question is, when we do content as content creators, do you want to? So the question I pose to you: do you want to make money, or do you just want to get good content out there?
Listen, bro, I think you can do both. I think you can make money, and I think this is my whole purpose. My whole purpose, bro, is to do what you put on this earth to do, and let the money come. We are the money. Like, we walk in money. Your mindset is money. The way we think, the way my mind is that's the money, bro. The physical money, that just comes. It comes. It's gonna come. It's gonna keep coming. That's too easy to make money, man. I don't want to do the easy way, man. I want to do the hard way. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that the hard way is that purpose. You know what I'm saying? That thing that was put into it, it wasn't meant to be easy. You know what I'm saying? Talking about building people up and inspiring people, bro. That's hard to do. Talking bad about what people doing and hating yourself and hating and loving your oppressors, man, that's easy, bro. That's easy. That's a cop-out.
So I guess you're right about everything you're saying. So you got the content creators that really want to self-improve people and want to see people grow and want to preach love and give love, and then you got the people who just want to check from online. And the only thing that really sells, and it's sad to say this, Marlon, is trauma.
Listen, the thing about it though,
that's what gets the click. That's what makes the money. So that's how you differentiate who's really want to help the collective and who wants to tear down the collective on the behalf of the check.
Well, I'm gonna say this. The only good thing about it to me is that they putting themselves out there. So when they expose themselves, that opens the door for somebody like myself to critique them. And then guess what? Now I can just highlight how crazy they look. You feel me? So my reaction to the drama that they trying to create is basically you know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yeah.
I just watched what you was doing and I started critiquing, and I just had that question for you.
It's just, man, I'm looking at the historical context of, you know, if you don't know, bro, like Jim Crow, that term is from a song. It's from the first platinum selling song. And it was from an artist, a white artist that had blackface, right? So, like, the first platinum selling record was basically talking bad about black people. The newspapers in this country blew up off of putting articles in a paper about black people doing this, black people doing that, and their newspapers would sell. This is nothing new, bro. This phenomenon has actually created this country's like whole media is built on talking bad about, like, our whole media empires is built on talking bad about black people. I ain't even mad at it because it just show you how much power mentioning black people got, bro. Like, to mention black people, it actually sells. If you talk bad about us, so it's really the other way around. It's really we control these people. You see what I'm saying? We control them. Like, to talk bad about black people versus talking good about any other person, bro, it ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, talking good, but see, it's just like how the stock market works. If you talk bad about something, you lower the stock. Now you can buy for the low and sell for the high. See what I'm saying? And that's basically what's going on, man, with our people. When our people believe this bad stuff about themselves, now you can have all of what we see within our community, us fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? The community's getting fucked up to where they can come in and buy for low. You know what I'm saying? Gentrification. So all this stuff, it really manifests, man, into our personal lives. That's the issue that I got with it, because a lot of our people got so much low pride that we want to literally hurt each other because we hate ourselves. And that's the danger of it, man.
It makes a lot of sense. I was just calling in, being a part of what you got going on.
I love you, man.
You answered the question, and I ain't got no more for you. You're right.
Hey, James, I love you, man. Appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
All right, you take care.
Oh, you too, man. All the time. So, yeah, man, that's the historical context of how this worked. This is nothing new. Media empires was built on talking bad about basically spreading black fear among the white community. Black men gonna rape the whole, what's it called? The Nat Turner. What's the Nat Turner? The new Nat Turner movie called Birth of a Nation. The original Birth of a Nation. It has the theme in there is black men is going to rape white women. That alone, that article, that theme right there has been selling newspapers, all media latched on to that phrase. Black men want to rape white women. Now, like what James was saying, drama sells, right? The sad and dangerous part about it is when black people start to believe it. You know, because everybody read newspapers, everybody look at media. So you got to think, when you got a young, impressionable black person, like, damn, he probably never thought about hurting no white person. But now he thinking about it. It's something that these papers and put in there. We know everything that's printed. We know everything that's on video is not real. But some people are so impressionable that they believe it. And then it's called like copycats. You know, you see a lot of these school shootings, they are like copycats. You know, everybody not sound in their mind. It's a lot of people that look at stuff that's in the paper and want to go act that out. You know, they want some attention. So yeah, that's the dangerous part about it, man. That you know, this self-fulfilling prophecy that start to unfold among, you know, our people based on these narratives. You know what I'm saying? That these people got, and like what James was saying, is all for money. It's like blood money, though. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you black. Finish this, O'Shea.
Called them out of my video for being pretty much sellouts. And so when they're reacting to my video, I'm talking about the Hodge twins here, here's their reply to me.
Yeah, and selling out actually gets you money. If you black and you sell out in this climate right now, you will make a lot of money. You talk bad about your people. Talk bad about black women. Talk bad about anybody that look like you if you black, and it's a recipe for success. And that's what I'm referring to. That's what I'm referring to in this video. That's what this whole video is about. It's basically about you know, the fact that black people talking about black people and white people talking about white people. Now I'm gonna show this last video of Charlie Kirk.
Right. So when segregation ended, right, black people, or when slavery ended, actually, black people were just forced wherever, right? So they had nowhere to go. And then there was laws put in place to put them into prison. And
see, I don't just listen to what nobody talking about. I'm always looking at body language too. And Charlie Kirk's body language to me tells me that he is disinterested. He is basically, his body language is like undermining this man. No matter what this man is saying, he don't even want to hear. And that's what bothers me about racist white folks. You know, they body language will tell you. No matter what come out of their mouth, it just so happened that the words coming out of his mouth always line up with his body language. So I can't say necessarily respect it because of what it is that he's doing, but I can say that I would be prepared for it. And I think that's why he had the responses that he got from a lot of these kids that wanted to keep debating him, because they knew that the words coming out of his mouth would match his body language.
Okay. No. What's your name? Guys, what's your name? Jackson. It takes a lot of courage to come up here.
Yeah, no,
Let's just take a deep breath. Okay, I'm not here to pick on you, and I appreciate it. No,
it's okay. What the fuck is the see? It start off all fucked up. Like he's some big and bad person. You see, but you can see what he meant was he's surrounded by MAGA people, and he know firsthand how treacherous these weak individuals are. These white supremacists. You can look at the man standing behind this young man. Look at him. Look at that look he got on his face. That's the look of you're invisible, man. I don't care what you say. I don't even want to hear what you're saying. F what you're saying. Look at this man's arms folded up. Oh shit. I don't want to hear. Look at this lady. She's uncomfortable. You know, she's uncomfortable. Look at her. Look at that smile. Look at that. So these are the nonverbal cues that I'm always looking at. You know what I'm saying? That's speaking. You can speak without speaking. You can communicate without using words. And that's what a lot of us go through over here. We go through up here in up north anyway, majority of us. We go through dealing with this kind of body language, you know, where they telling you without telling you that, shut up, we don't want to hear what you got to say. So they already, you know, he already prepared to undermine this man, no matter what he said. But let's listen to what this young man said again. Knowing what I just said.
Ended, right? Black people, when slavery ended, actually, black people were just forced wherever, right? So they had nowhere to go. And then there was laws put in place to put them into prison. And after...
Okay. No. What's your name? Guys, what's your name? Jackson. It takes a lot of courage to come.
Yeah, so let me finish what he couldn't finish because it's so traumatizing. It was laws put in place for black people. If you didn't have a job, you was going to jail. If you were homeless, you walking down the street, you going to jail. They created laws for our people after slavery, the Reconstruction era, when we were actually being elected into Congress and stuff like that, rebuilding. And it's called white backlash or black backlash. Anything we do good, boom, it's some backlash from the community, from the white community. So that happened. Laws on the books that criminalize black people for not having a job. Imagine that. Imagine you finna go to jail for not having a job that no one can give you. You're fresh out of slavery. You don't have the means to own a business, to work for yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that's what this young man couldn't communicate. And look at Charlie Kirk act like look, you got a lot of courage, man. Shut the fuck up.
Okay. No. What's your name? Guys, what's your name? Jackson. It takes a lot of courage to come up here.
Yeah, no,
let's just take a deep breath. I'm not here to pick on you, and I appreciate it. No, it's okay. I know this can be very intimidating getting to a crowd like this. So just take a deep breath. Let me make your argument.
Yeah, and just for y'all that's watching that didn't think he meant what I just said, he just actually said what I just said. So yeah, a crowd like that. What kind of crowd? People that's from black people. Everybody black in that crowd, as far as I can see. Every human is black. I know I wouldn't be intimidated because I would tell them if they didn't know, you come from me. I tell all racist white people, you come from me. So why you mad at me? Without me, it wouldn't be no you. I say those exact words.
I'm going to make your argument for you, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so the argument that is being made that you want to make is that there's legacies of injustice.
Yes.
And that those legacies impact one generation after the other. And when those things get handed down, you have what is a system or a systemic issue that isn't just isolated in 2024. So the argument that you're making is that what happened in 1954 does impact 2024 of decade after decade after decade. Let me tell you my response to that. Of course, there is some truth to that. However, every culture, every person in this audience can point to issues that families or generations prior had that were able to overcome. So the question is, why is it that Black America is one of the only populations that are native?
Now, let me break that down. Because not only were they creating laws to keep us down, they were actually giving land away to new European people that came here. Same things is going on now. They firing all these Black women and they're making sure they're giving some Europeans the jobs, right? They're keeping African countries out of here, but they bring in white South Africans here. See, this has been going on a long time. So it ain't enough that we go through shit, but then at the same time, other people are rewarded while we being punished. That's the adding insult to injury. That's the part. That's the issue, right? It'd be one thing to, okay, I gotta let you go, but then you hire, even worse, Black people training these white people so then they can lose their job to the same white person. Oh, that happens. Yeah, so, bro, like, he talking about because we're the only Black people. That's why we're the only ones, because we're the only us.
American populations that have not been able to overcome such evil, horrors, and injustices. Here's my perspective, and I want to hear what you have to say, is that the number one way to keep people out of poverty, lower the crime rate, and have a better society is whether or not you have a mom and a dad around, which we agree that's an ideal. Yeah? Cool. Yeah. And so what?
See, let me break that down. Mom and dad was being terrified, was being hunted, was being threatened in the deep South. My great-great-grandparent, my great-great-granddaddy actually was just like me. I got this spirit from him. I already know. So he was a strong man. He got took out to the railroad, put his neck down on the train tracks, and was beheaded. That's the trauma that my grandmother endured behind her father when he was just standing up. So what this dude talking about, look, the fathers in our community were terrified. They women was taken out and raped and sent back home pregnant with a half-white baby that they had to raise. See, his people ain't never, men in the white community have never experienced no shit like this. The trauma that our men face from being just trying to have a family, how they was threatened, you know what I mean, for trying to defend their family as a man should. Yeah, that's where a lot of the terroristic threats came to our community from men trying to stand up. Yeah, and we inherited that trauma. For a lot of men in the two last couple generations were still traumatized by what their fathers and grandfathers went through in the deep South. Yeah, and I inherited it. You know what I mean? I changed it. My generation, mostly in my family, changed it. But a lot of families didn't. They still dealing, trying to sort that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because we actually seeing the same shit. When we try to stand up, they're threatening to fire us. You know what I mean? So what you think that do to your family? When you lose your job, you lose your livelihood. You might lose your woman. You might lose your kids. Now your kids being raised by, man, come on, man. It's a vicious cycle. So when we try to stand up, we end up being harassed. The fuck is he talking about? Like it's like he forgetting the golden thing is we're Black. That's it. That's it. That's the biggest difference. So it ain't even, that's why I said this video talking about black people seems to be the ticket to success. It was his ticket to success too. Without us, without talking about us, his channel wouldn't be as big as it is. He owed us. He owed our people.
Happened in 1964 is that 25% of black youth were raised by a single mom. Today, it's nearly 75%, about 70%. So that means that 1 in 4 black kids will have a father around. Only 1 in 4. That's the number one issue happening in the country, and it's not because of systemic racism. I'd like to hear what you have to say about that.
Okay, so I think I misjudged you at first. Like when you brought up the 1350 stat, I had like just assumed that it was like inherently like eugenics based, kind of, you know. So, and that's where mine came from. Like I think we are on the same page that like we know what the problem is, and that's what I mean. Like,
no, and thank you for saying that, because I think we actually have a lot more in common in this country than the media would ever believe.
No, definitely, right? And like, what my point was, I was trying to say is, I don't think that we're doing enough to help these black communities catch up. Whereas, like, they're underfunded and they're not, and they're over policed, and there's these factors that are contributing to, like you said, these single parent households.
Yeah,
like,
so we're not going to agree on this. This is where we'll disagree, and that's okay. I have more of a view of Thomas Sowell on this, where he believes it's far more about culture, values, and worldview than stuff and over policing. I believe there's not enough police in black neighborhoods. You're going to disagree with that. Let's not even get into it, okay? But I think we can ask a question, and I want your opinion. Why is it that the single motherhood rate in black America went from 25% to 75% over 50 years, where America did?
Now, I'm going to chime in on that. He don't think it's enough. It's enough police in the black community. It's just what's their agenda? See, because when you ride around Flint at a certain time at night, you're going to see a whole lot of people getting pulled over, right? So you would think it's like a sundown town. The police will try to basically tell you to take your black ass home. That's what goes on in my city, and I know it happened everywhere across the U.S. in the black community. So the police are there, but they're not there to, they're not there to get the cat out the tree. You know what I'm saying? They only there, which, I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be, stopping crime and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you, it's so many shootings and so many crimes being committed. I let you know, like, it's nothing being done proactive. If you only reacting to a place where you know that it's crime, you should be there proactively. You should know everybody's name. You should know you should know I ain't gonna say you should know everything about everybody, but you should at least be familiar with everybody to the point to where, you could first name basis. You know what I mean? And it's not the police job to raise these kids out here. A lot of this stuff be little kids out here. It's the parents' job to do that. So that's one thing I can say. No matter how many police is out in any community, it's up to the parents. And like what he talking about, the whole, this whole conundrum of confusion. It all go back to the house. And if it's only your mother there, boom, and the father not there. But I believe this is systematic because of how it started and then how it ended up. You don't just get to where we at in our community for nothing. It is a beginning point. A lot of it is us not knowing who we are. And when I say us, I mean all of us. White people got to know that they black too. They come from Africa too. Yeah, I think the majority of white people know this to be a fact. So when we talk about each other, like, we got to talk about each other like we are us, instead of, oh no, that's just them. The tribal shit is over. Yeah, we thought tribal, but we know we came from the same tribe at this point. We got to stop that tribal shit. We all know that we came from the same tribe at this point. And we can narrow it down there, go right to the source of it at this point. So now that we know this, let's actively get out of this thinking that we had that everybody is different. We are one thing.
Become less racist.
Well, Like, why did it?
Yeah. So what caused Black America to go from one of the strongest nuclear family communities in the country to now the weakest by far?
Let me answer that. I personally think from the time that he's talking about, so it was a time in our community where highways didn't run through our communities. But when you factor in from the time that he's talking about, where the majority of Black men and women, the family was intact, we were in communities, the red line, that's pretty much the redlining era, like right post World War II. So you had areas that Black people had to live in this country, right? They couldn't buy houses nowhere. They couldn't buy houses outside of that red line, outside of that little area that was so-called designated for them. Now, post then you had the highways. The highways got built through all Black communities. They were displaced, right? That was like right before Vietnam. You had Vietnam. You had a bunch of soldiers shell-shocked, fucked up, on drugs, come back. Boom, that contributed to it. Fast forward to the crack generation, crack era, which was pretty much 10, 11, 12 years after that. Boom. You got a bunch of fathers in that era, gone. Thought they was using party drugs, end up being something that took out a whole damn generation of men and women, out of our community. Boom. You fast forward, their kids are now grown now, right? So they were born fucked up. White America might not sympathize with this, but I guarantee you sympathize 20 years from now when the kids of these opioid addicts is grown. And they out here clowning, right? So you don't get to where we at now just by happenstance. Them highways running through our communities played a big role, and I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time here in Flint. Them highways going through our communities, they basically just devastated our whole little what we thought we had. In Detroit, the Black Bottom, highway right there right now. In Flint, it was St. John's, highway right there right now. You go all the way across every city in America, it's a highway going through where Black people used to live. Guaranteed, 100%. 100% of the time. So if you don't think that, I guarantee you he never visited that fact. But let's see what this young man had to say.
I asked your question.
No, that's okay. No, that's great. And again, it's hard to get up and have these conversations.
See, that's why he looks like he's so smart. He don't have no grown person with some insight on how a lot of these are facts too. Like he could be mad and debate it no, this statistics say no, whatever. It don't matter. I'm gonna be interviewing a lot of people that was from these all Black communities when our families was more intact. So we're gonna get their firsthand experience. Yeah. See, this young man ain't even had no comeback for him. So he looked like he's smart.
Here's my opinion. My opinion is that yes, there was some social welfare that subsidized single motherhood, which means it's easier to get cash from the government if you say you are single than if you are married. I think we can agree that's stupid. That shouldn't happen, right? But I would love your perspective on this. Do you think in Black culture, getting married and staying with one woman for your entire life is elevated and celebrated?
Not at all.
I think that's the problem.
I think the problem stems from...
See, this is the thing, bro. Back when we were together, it's called sabotage, okay? When you put up a whole government system set up to sabotage, right? And like I said, our forefathers were threatened when they were doing the right thing, protecting their family. Literally threatened for being men, basically. Castrated, literally. Hung, literally. Threatened, literally. That trauma is in our DNA at this point. So a lot of our Black men, they are scared of these white men, just to be honest with you. They not gonna say it like that, but they fearful. They fearful. They scared of the police. It's the police they getting paid. They like a paid terrorist group. A paid terrorist group that terrorize us. Let you be a thriving black man doing what you're supposed to do, like me. Like, right? I'm thriving. I'm doing very well. I go outside and driving my car in a certain area at a certain time of the night. I can be pulled over by disgruntled, racist, white police officer. Get drugs planted in my car. Nothing I can do. Get snatched right on the way. And that happens. That happens. You know, and I'm one of them talk back. But I generally have real good interaction with police because I understand. And plus, I don't like to waste my time. So it's with me, it's always about time. So I'm always, here you go, here you go, here you go. But my rights been violated many times. My rights probably been violated every time I got pulled over because I just let them search my car. I don't yeah, ain't nothing here. Yeah, okay, yeah, I ain't got time. So I hurry up and don't get it over with. But yeah, man, like that's normal for black men rights to get violated every damn day down there. It's nothing new.
Lack of education. I think these communities don't have. I don't think a lot of them have the proper education or learning from previous to realize what will lead them to a more successful future. I think that if we funded more education in these systems, then these men wouldn't be so focused on stuff like gang violence to get protection or money or
you have a
other
great
stuff like that, and then end up in prison and then end up with their child having a single mother.
Fair enough. So
sorry, I didn't.
No, it's great. So there's a lot of examples that there's some merit to your argument, but it's more about the quality of education than the amount of money we spend on it.
Yeah.
Such as that's why I'm a big proponent of school choice and educational vouchers and opposing the teacher unions. But the core is this. Is that the number one predictor for a kid of any skin color, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, is whether or not dad is around.
Right.
And I look as an outsider, albeit, at current black culture, right? From the athletes to the rap music to the music, I don't see the nuclear family elevated. Nor is it an...
See, and that's an important point because he's not going to see it. Like, I don't see nothing about white, you know, like, to be honest with y'all, here in Flint, Michigan, all I see is either homeless white people, white people on drugs, majority, it'd be men and women. No, the white people that I do interact with, they don't be too bright. So I don't see no good white families in my area. I only see good black families. I don't see nothing good because I don't really deal with white people. So of course he's not gonna see if he just going off the TV, the media, the rap, they gonna do just basically what this video is about. They gonna talk about drama. They gonna talk about dumb shit because that's what sells, period, in our whole culture. They just took a page out of white America's playbook by talking bad about themselves though, instead of it being about another race. But it's the same. They're talking about black people, right? So that seems to be the recipe for success in this country, media-wise, with any media, with YouTube media, mainstream media, the newspapers, everybody, key to success is downing black people. That seems to be how you get going. You know, how you start to bring in the dough. You know, so that's my take on it. I'm gonna let Charlie Kirk, say a little because this is my first time watching this video.
Internal black cultural expectation. Now, I will ask some of the white individuals here in this audience, okay? If you guys got pregnant and all of a sudden you didn't even know who the father was around, how would your parents react? Not great, right? Yes? Unfortunately, in Black America, this is kind of accepted. Would you agree?
I can't say. I grew up around a lot of white people, so I can't say.
Okay, but it is a fact that...
Wah, wah, wah. What the hell? What is he talking about? He grew up around it, so he came. Wow, bro! What a response! Dropped the ball. You see? So yeah, these are the kind of people he debating. Pregnancy was never in my experience, and I was a teenage father. It was not accepted. It's just like when it happened, what you gonna do? You gonna kill the baby? Nah. We had the baby. We just had the baby. Like it wasn't the end of the world. Ended up being the best blessing of my life. My 29-year-old daughter doing very well. She's like one of the highlights. All 5 of my kids, the highlight of my life. So, but she was the first highlight of my life, and I thank God for her. Like that's life, man. Like when you bring life through, it's a blessing. Like, so I think that's the biggest difference between our community when in that scenario and the white community. Like, no, it's not necessarily frowned upon because we like life. In our community, the more the better. Have 100. I tell a lot of young black men that got multiple kids, say have more, keep having them. Because every young black man I know that's having their kids, they taken care of. They love their babies. They might be single fathers. They might be raising them all by themselves. Yeah, I see a lot of that with the young ones. So, no, bro, like we're not against. They say they pro-life, but y'all just hear what he just said. Like, we the pro-life ones. We love to reproduce. Nothing wrong with reproduce. Actually, without us reproducing, there wouldn't be no white people. So, yeah, we reproduce white people. We reproduce Asian people. And the Arab people, they just came. I just found this video. He said some real stuff, man, Afro Think Tank. He said Arabs are nothing but white, black, and Asians. That's it. Right in that area is where everybody met and just was messing around. So that's all that the Arab people are. Yeah. And I was telling the Arab dude that the other day, I said, y'all not a real race, right? Y'all just a mix of everybody. And he was trying to argue with me. I was like, yeah, bro, I don't know what else to tell you.
It is accepted, right? So that's the problem. The problem is that it's a cultural norm that has then turned into the cycle of poverty. The cycle of poverty can break very quickly if fathers stayed with the women they imprisoned.
I got a perspective on the cycle of poverty too. So where black people originate from in Africa, just think about this. We got great weather all year round in Africa, right? Majority of Africa. Well, yeah, all of Africa. It's no winter, right? No winter time. No cold winters, right? Historically, from humans were being, evolving. So when we migrated to Europe and had to adapt and adjust to the cold, right? Our people there were forced to be inventive, to be resourceful in order to survive the harsh winters, right? So all these systems that were developed through being forced to do it, right? That's basically it's evolution. Like that's what humans do. We evolve. In Africa, there was no need to colonize other places because you get cold in the winter and your resources getting low. Like all them resources that's in Africa, the people there didn't need to get it out of the ground. They didn't need no oil for heat. They didn't need no resources for heat. A lot of this stuff, really, all these resources that people think they need is really Europe need. Africa don't need the resources to survive. So a lot of my point is the so-called poverty issue, that's just something that's made up because if you're a hunter and you know how to maintain have a place to stay and you eat and just being able to eat every day is that's thriving and eating healthy on top of that. That's good. This thing about poverty is really just a skewed perspective on how humans have lived for all these years. I always ask people this: how do y'all think before money it was looked at if a person was rich or poor, right? And I'm even talking about before they came up with gold and all these systems. Like people just, they cooperatively survived. So this notion that, they're poor and that's just, no, you know what? We come from that, bro. We don't care. We don't care about that. It's like these people that think somebody's doing so bad because they don't have what everybody else have. Bro, if you got life, you got what everybody else have. Trust me. It's nothing else that you need. Life. Life is the key. If everybody got life, everybody got everything. Everything else is made up.
But most of these fathers aren't just leaving. A large majority of these fathers are ending up in prison. Like this is
good point. Why do you go to prison?
Because you commit crimes. But because the prison system has been targeted against minorities.
Again, we're not going to agree here,
right,
and that's okay.
Yeah,
there's actually under enforcement of the laws when it comes where there's, for example, only half of murders in Chicago get solved.
Right, but are they all black people though?
Almost all of them, yeah. Like 80,
well,
80.
If they're not solved, how do we know that they're black people?
Well, because it's a black victim in a black neighborhood by a black gang. So it's like you can assume at a great approximation that in the west side of Chicago,
50% of them.
I say this, man. I don't necessarily agree with you, but what I will say gives clarity to that is they don't care about solving no crimes in our community. They really don't. That goes back to what I was just talking about. A lot of these police officers, historically, like the whole police system was built as slave catchers. Actually, the first force in America was built to catch slaves that ran away. That whole model has, up to date, is basically still in place, right? So, to see our people, like I said, basically having self-hate, that same hate that the white racist community have against our people, a lot of our people share it. They hate themselves, right? So, of course, a white supremacist system is happy to see basically what they want to do being done. They don't care, and when they do solve them, I don't know if y'all noticed, but they don't hardly punish them. They don't hardly punish them. So I kind of agree with Charlie Kirk in that sense, because under enforcement of the law, and I'm gonna say this, fuck the law. You know, we need laws specifically for our community that we enforce. It's like white people, they need laws specifically for their community. Like this white on white crime, they need to be going hard on that. They should be holding them up. White people should be holding the white on white crime in their community to a very high standard. This is what Charlie Kirk should have been talking about. But no, like I said, what this video is about, it's about talking about black people and spinning that narrative that we're the boogeyman. That's what whole media is built on in America. It's built on making the black people, they're gonna do it. And then what it ended up being was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know if y'all know what that means, but that basically means if you believe something, it's true. If you believe it in your mind, you will manifest it. So a lot of our people have been fooled by the same people that hate them to do what them people want to do to us, to ourselves. Yeah, self-hate.
Murders in Chicago that go unsolved are all black people.
Not all. No, I said 85%. But we don't know who the perp is. But again, if you have a black victim at 2 a.m. in a black neighborhood, it's reasonable to say that it was a black on black crime. 90% of murders after 2 a.m. in Chicago are black on black crimes. I'm from Chicago. Right. I happen to know it. Right. But like half of all murders in Chicago are unsolved, that means half of all murderers are walking free. So we have an under enforcement of laws. We have the ladies here in this audience should know this. You know that there's over 600,000 rape kits in this country that have not even been opened or tested, which means that.
You know, a lot of the unsolved crimes too, you know, our community historically, like I said, that fact that we know that the police was built on catching slaves, right? That whole system was built on catching runaway slaves, police in America, right? And then when you add the fact that laws was created, right? Laws was the laws of the land. A lot of them was created to only punish us, you know. So when we do something to each other in our community, no, we're not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk. You know why? Because we just don't trust the whole system. So yeah, it's like it's a combination of self-hate and mistrust of the law that we know only want to punish us. So it's akin to, on the flip side of it, on the opposite end of the spectrum, these African countries phasing out of these organizations that only penalize African nations, right? It's the same concept, right? So we just don't trust y'all. Like, y'all history tells us that you're not to be trusted. So we'd rather kill each other, literally kill each other, and not deal with y'all laws in our community and basically just police ourselves than, y'all catching the so-called perp. We understand what a lot of these crimes be about, whether or not y'all do or not, but we don't care.
There are women who say that they've been raped, and their kits are not even put in the system. There are probably hundreds of thousands of rapists that walk free in this country.
Yeah, no, our system is
no. What I'm saying, though, that's an under-enforcement of laws, though.
Yeah, because our system is terrible.
No, I know, but you...
And speaking about the rape, so a lot of Black Americans, I ain't gonna say a lot, all Black Americans have rapist blood in us. Literally. Like, we wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be living now without the rapist blood. Like, when we do a DNA thing, we find that European ancestor, that's a rapist ancestor. A straight up 100% rapist ancestor. Like, we literally have perpetrator blood in us. Like, criminals is in our DNA. And we know this. Right? It's nothing we can do about it at this point. It should be, though, if they lifting the statute of limitations on rape. We should be able to go back to our ancestor and find that and charge him with rape. That's what we should be able to do. Since they want to pull all these, Bill Cosby, what he did in the 70s, we should be able to go back in our DNA and charge our ancestor, our white rapist ancestor, for rape, right? But so a lot of our women, man, listen, that same trauma that make these black men afraid to, or so traumatized when they dealing with just trying to be a man and raise their family. It's the same trauma that a lot of our Black women have when they want to report a rape. You know what I'm saying? They know that this system don't care about them. They know that soon as they go down there and report it, a lot of times what they're gonna do is they might try to make it like she did something to make this rape happen. Like, she is culpable. She responsible for the rape. So that's like, add insult to injury. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people, we just don't trust the system in general. And why should we? You know what I mean? We have not been given a reason to trust this system. And that's what makes it so, so like obnoxious for somebody like Charlie Kirk to try to grill this young mixed dude, and he don't even hardly know nothing about Black culture. So he really talking to the wrong person.
So we have an over-enforcement. I don't think we have enough people in jail.
You don't think we have enough people?
No, like I said, half of all murderers walk free. We don't even know who they are.
Okay, but I sure, whatever. But I'm talking, I don't think...
He right. The unenforcement of the law, they trying to let his killer out. White America love white people so much, they gonna let his killer go free. That's under enforcement of the law. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think that's... A lot of people say white people stick together. I don't think y'all really sticking together. I just think y'all just want to be opposed to Black people so much that y'all want to give that illusion like y'all sticking together. Because you can't, with your own right mind, want to let this dude go. Candace Owens even trying to stand up and give some type of question mark as to what this dude, it's all kind of, because now it's getting muddy. And the FBI is so dang on weak and so weird that they actually taking into account what this weird lady so-called investigated from her computer screen. What the hell is going on? Yeah, it's under enforcement of the law, especially in the white community.
That, like I don't think that black people are as like more than 50% of exonerations from prison are black people. Like a black person is more likely than any other race to be tried for a crime that they did not commit, and then to be released from prison for a crime that they did not commit.
That's not totally true. Let's pretend that it is. It's because they're in front of the justice system more because of the high crime. But let's try to find some agreement.
I'm talking percentages of exonerations. Like
it's because they're in the system more though. It's because you have more cases. But anyway, let's pretend that's true. Let's pretend the system's totally racist.
Actually, there's more white people in the system because white people make up like what? Like
no, for sure.
So you were just incorrect there, right? Like you're doing to me.
But they don't commit as many crimes.
Okay, so let's be cordial. Let's be cordial.
You're not being, so let's calm down a little bit. Okay.
You're not being.
Am I being sweet to this guy?
Okay. But
all right. Let me ask you one question in closing though. If you could, okay. If you could say to Black America, here is more money, more stuff, more housing.
That's the crazy part about Charlie Kirk, man. A lot of people want to act like he was such. So the devil, just how the devil works, and he represent that, like he really truly represent what the devil represent. They will lie like. They will kiss you. They will tell you they love you. But it ain't what they saying, is how they saying, right? He didn't necessarily say nothing, bad to the guy. Like when he was trying to prove his point, guy was getting off on him. He gave him some real facts. It's more white people in prison than it is black people. And it's more black people to be exonerated from a crime they didn't commit. Those are facts, right? But when he said, "Oh, let's pretend that's not true. Let's pretend that's not true." Come on, man. I think the guy used the wrong word when he said cordial, though.
More fathers. Which one would you choose?
More funding. I don't think because fathers. I think that you need to solve the problem from the bottom. I don't think you can just plant a bunch of fathers in and they're going to stay there. Like you said, they're just going to like in the culture. It's not part of the culture, so they would just leave.
It's a hypothetical.
I don't think you can have one without the other. You need more fathers with funding in their pockets. Yeah, what good? Like a lot of the issues within our community is, what good is a family being together if this man can't get no opportunities, right? Even if he qualified, right? You see what I'm saying? He can't. In this climate that we in, they're openly going against and firing black people. Openly, right? So they're actually trying to create this, but this is not new, right? Trying to create this, trying to manufacture this what Charlie Kirk was talking about, trying to manifest it, right? Not enough black. Yeah, what you think happens when any person loses, mother or the father? It's calamity in the house. It's chaos in the house. It's all kind of fighting and going on. And guess what? Just like when COVID happened, when people were sitting at home for so long, they wasn't going to work. They might have even had money. If they wasn't going to work, they're sitting around each other all day. A whole lot of people broke up. Yeah, and that's what you have in any community. You know what I'm saying? And we seen that during COVID. A lot of people broke up because they were sitting around each other a little bit too long. That's really the fallout of a man not having or both not having no job. They around each other too much. They don't have nothing else to do, and they might just start arguing because they just don't have nothing else going on at that time. So, yeah, man.
Meaning, if the fathers were to stay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. If I just knew for 100% fact that they were going to stay.
No,
sure.
we have agreement. So during the BLM stuff 4 years ago, did we hear anything from the national BLM leaders or anybody about black dads staying around with women they impregnate? Did anyone mention that?
No.
Why? It's the fundamental issue. The fundamental issue is if you have a father around, less likely to commit crimes, more likely to graduate high school, more likely to get a job, less likely to be in poverty.
How do we get there? Like, this is what I was like.
No,
Yeah, that issue, isn't addressing what that Black Lives Matter was born from. So that's two totally different issues. Like, to speak about fathers not being in the home, that's basically a communal issue. And that's something that people like myself are a part of. Like, what he don't know is we in our community quietly go about our business of uplifting each other. We're not creating an organization with a name on it. We're quietly going about it, especially right now in today's climate, because we know if we put a name on it, we're going to bring attention to it. So we're quietly going about our business of uplifting each other and sharing perspective and giving insight and giving opportunities to each other. We've been doing that. We've been quietly going about our business. We don't broadcast. It's no need to broadcast, because actually what he's talking about, the numbers is off. It's more Black people in their kids' lives, more Black men in their kids' lives than any other race. If y'all don't know that, actually, when I'm at that school, I might go live one day. I am gonna go live. And I'm gonna show y'all all the Black fathers that's at this school with me. And it's been like this with all my kids, because I got 5. So I got kids in 3 different generations. I got a millennial baby, a late millennial baby, 96 baby. I got an 01, a 02, and an 06 baby. That's Gen Z. And I got a Generation Alpha baby. That's 2017. So I have dealt with fathers in 3 different generations. In every single generation, I've seen majority of men coming up to them schools, picking them babies up, going feeding their babies, keeping their babies clothed and taking care of their babies. So his statistics is off. Yeah, his statistics is off. You know what I see? I bought a house out in a predominantly white area about 10 years ago. I see a whole lot of white women out cutting their grass. Whole lot of them out cutting their grass. Where I live at now, none but Black men. I see Black men cutting their grass, keeping their yard together. So his statistics is wrong. I don't know where he get these statistics from either. They dead wrong. We're the most involved.
We get there.
Well, the first of which is you must raise the standard of expectation, both internally and externally in the Black community, that we're not going to put up with men, because we're both men, fleeing the women that they impregnate. Yeah. That we will say to men that flee the women that they impregnate, you're a loser. Yeah. We're not going to.
We quietly do this. There's no need to broadcast it on social media. People like him don't need to see us checking each other. It's not for people. Everything not for online. Everything not for an organization. There's certain things you do in private. And that's what we do. That's what our whole community built on, accountability. But the thing about it is no white accountability. No white accountability. That's the thing. And you know what? What's so crazy is this so-called phenomenon of baby mama, baby daddy stuff. Our people, just in general, we are so powerful that we got white people wanting to imitate that phenomenon. That's the sad part. Y'all see something so bad. I think that's probably what his issue is. Because I think it started in my generation, but it started to really be obvious in his generation, young 30s. A lot of young 30-some-year-old white dudes, they baby daddies. You know why? Because they want to be like us so bad. And I always said that Black people are so influential on the white culture, but really, all of us are influential on each other. It's just the bad shit that Black people do. We so influential on white people with the bad shit we do, right? So us even saying the N-word, right? The N-word. They want to say that. I noticed that in my generation. White men want to say white people want to say the N-word so bad, they just had to come to them concerts so they could say the N-word, right? Anything we do, and I always said to myself, really playing, like, man, if we could do the worst shit in the world and these people will want to do it. Drinking lean, that's a bad drug. These young Black rappers then popularized doing hard drugs. Guess what? You see a whole lot of young white people want to do hard drugs. That's dumb. What? But I think that's what Charlie Kirk's issue is. He mad at his people for listening to our people. But it's just, it is what it is. It's a phenomenon. It has happened, especially with media. Especially with media. Anything we do, they want to imitate. But it's really bigger than that. It's anything anybody do that's popular. And I'm saying anybody because black people always use the example, man, if white people doing this, man, shit, we can do it if white people do it. So we all want to imitate each other. You know, if we see a dollar sign that come out of it. So yeah, let's finish this video because it is kind of interesting. I see why a lot of people, you can't stop watching this shit. It's like, for me, it's like a horror story.
Tolerate
like
you,
horror
we're not going to be
stories.
friends with you, that you're the scum of the earth, that if you impregnate a woman and you just run away from them.
Most definitely.
Do we do that right now?
I don't think all men do. I think this is very common. What's the word I'm looking? I think this is very common in just masculine culture in general. Is that men won't do that too?
I actually think it's the opposite of masculine culture. I think it's not feminine. It's something else.
No.
Just fleeing from the difficult.
Well, no, but I'm saying I'm in male circles. I feel like that is something that males would praise, or at least around my age range. That's something that happens.
So then I think we need to demand better. Thank you for coming up to the mic. I know it's not easy, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
Have a good day, sir.
He had to add that he know it's not easy again, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Yeah, so to conclude this video, man, and I guess I will share some more commentary on this topic, you know, is hating on black people and black women specifically the key to success? Because I think the people that hate on black women, they channels go crazy, you know? And I think, you know what I think? I think because black people in general respond back so emotionally. We are emotional. We have a lot of emotion, especially in this country, concerning this climate that we surrounded by. You know, we always on defense mode. Black women are louder in general, so they might be in defense mode more. But you got to know us to understand a lot of when we barking, a lot of when we talking loud, we usually feel, if you know us, we are the exact opposite. Like in my personal life, the tone of my voice isn't even the same as it is right now. This is a topic that got me charged. So the tone of my voice even changed when I'm talking about something like this. But in my personal life, if you knew me, I'm so laid back and chill. You know, like that lady that was on with Anton earlier. I'm sure that young lady so bright, so intelligent, and was raised with manners and know how to. So a lot of us, we react with batteries in our backs. I ain't gonna lie, we do, and that's only because of a lot of the trauma that we have inherited. It's actually in our DNA, and it's true that you can inherit trauma in utero, basically from your mother, right? You can inherit trauma, and it can be passed down. A lot of this stuff that we inherited, like that we have now, it has been inherited. So that's really what y'all seeing on the surface. But, you know, I think the analytics, when a lot of these YouTubers, they see the numbers. They say, you know what? I'm going to talk about this topic more. And then it's like, that's what it's all about. Is this what it's all about? Like, that's all I be thinking. Like, is this what it's really all about, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. That's like, what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. This what it's all about? Like, for real? Like, damn. You know what I mean? And so it seems like that's the key to a lot of YouTubers' success. When they talking about this melon, even black YouTubers, because they don't know who they are. You know, they don't know that everybody black. So a lot of them be trying to appease to our non-melanated black people, our white or Asian black people, everybody black. So they be trying to appease to them to, I guess, make it seem like they are different, you know, or they can align, or they're somehow superior to our people. I can talk to white people. Yeah, that's why you will never hear my tone. Like, I talk intelligently, but you will never hear me talking white. It ain't even how they sound so much as how they feel. You know, and you can feel it. Just like with the, I wouldn't say Charleston White fit that mold, but them Hodge twins fit that mold. Anton Daniels fit that mold. I can't say that about Kevin Samuels, though. I really feel like he was for our people, Kevin Samuels, but he was like, the reason why I didn't like all the way agree with a lot of his content, because he seemed to only focus on black women. He knew that would be a key to success. So, like my boy James said earlier, man, what's going on, Mike Stone? I didn't even see you commenting. Like my boy James Mayfield said earlier, man, drama sells, and I guess this never gonna stop. You know, this is the birth. This is talking bad about black people is what birthed every type of media that we got. The newspapers, do y'all research. I did research on it. The newspapers here in this country, music started off as white artists doing blackface. That's the Jim Crow. That's where the term Jim Crow came from, a song, Jumpin' Jim Crow. That was the name of it. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed, man. A lot of his documentaries gave me a lot of insight on this and kind of helped to plant more seeds in me that was already planted in me from birth. I grew up watching Farrakhan, listening to Farrakhan. We used to have to actually buy the audio tapes. There wasn't no online. I grew up listening to, my cousin used to bring tapes over, and we would listen to Farrakhan, you know. But as I got older, the internet came about. I started researching things. Now we got ChatGPT. If y'all don't know, y'all can ask ChatGPT who was the original man. You know, I know a lot of y'all, if y'all racist white people, y'all gonna be mad, and you're gonna try to spin it, and then you might say, oh, they're leftists and all that kind of crazy ass shit. Within our black community, we don't care about that left and right shit. That's only y'all crazy, deranged white folks that don't want to look at yourself, that care about left and right shit. We all us. Everybody's black, if you ask me. Like I said, and I'm gone, man. On that note, Marlon Speaks Live. I'm out, one.